Hello everybody! Welcome to Business English class. I am your professor, Professor Keith Richer. 반갑습니다. Nice to meet you. Today we are doing a video lecture on YouTube to begin with a class introduction, and I will cover the syllabus and some class information. So please pay attention, follow along, and next week we will start our class on Zoom live class. So today we'll do a video lecture. Please pay attention, listen to the information. If you have any questions, you can ask me next week or in an email. All right, so like I said, my name is Keith. I'll be your professor. Let's go ahead and get started on the syllabus preview. So here we have my face, two faces of Keith, emoji and real life. I think emoji looks better. I look younger. Anyways, let's begin. So, Business English class for fall of 2020. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Should be an interesting class. I'm looking forward to it. 기대된다. So, let's go over some basic information. First of all, we are having our class online because of coronavirus. So, all classes will be online. Next week, we will start with the Zoom live class. So if you don't have a Zoom account, please make a Zoom account and become familiar with that software. And we will have communication for assignments, homework, lecture materials on UClass. So please be familiar with UClass. Like I've said before, my name is Keith Richer. I am your instructor. Nice to meet you. My email address is here, englishprofessorkeith@gmail.com. You can find this information on the syllabus that I posted to the UClass page with some general information. You can always contact me via email, and I will be make myself available Thursday from 1 to 2 p.m. specifically if you need to directly reach out to something other than email. So how to contact me? There are two ways to contact me. One is through email and one is through UClass. For me, email is best because UClass is really limited. There is no information on UClass when a person sends me a message. So it's very difficult to understand who is messaging me, and it's unclear and it's really messy and inconvenient. So please try not to use UClass unless they update that. But until they update it, please use email. Email is best to contact me. So let's talk about how to use email. So email format. When you email me or anybody, you should include some general information, and this will be especially important for business reasons. And because this is a business English class, we will focus on business writing. But English format, please include in your subject the reason for the email and your name in Korean. It is easier for me to recognize people from their Korean names in Hangul. I can speak a little bit of Korean. 한국말 조금 할 수 있어요. 그래서 한국어 좋아요. Right? So just email me in Korean your name in Korean. And then your student number, because some people have the similar name, and your class number. So your class number for Business English is 01. So that way I know who you are and which class you are in. Important information before I can help you. So email that. Here is an example of a email. Example email, you have my information here, and then you have the subject or reason, question about assignment, include your name, 강호동, student number and the class number, and then tell me about your information, and that would be great. Moving on to materials. So some materials that we will need for this class. Textbook. We do have a textbook, but I'm going to make it optional. I'll talk about that later. And we will be making a professional Gmail account, so be prepared to do that. We'll do that later in class, but Gmail is best for business purposes internationally. So we're going to make a Gmail account. UClass content, I will post UClass content every week, so please check our UClass page weekly. and Zoom. So we will be having a Zoom classes, so you need to have a Zoom account and be familiar with how to use Zoom. It's not hard, but if you haven't used it, please become familiar with that. About the textbook, here is the textbook that we will be using for class. It's called Communicating in Business English. It's kind of an old textbook. You can see 오랜만 책, 아재 많아요, 아저씨 많아요. So it's kind of old business style. If you want to buy it, you can buy it, but it is going to be optional. So this is an optional textbook. The reason is because there is too much content in the book. The book is a good book, but there is too much content. There is a lot of vocabulary, a lot of example sentences, a lot. Mani, 많아요. So it's just too much to cover in an online class. So I will be choosing some parts of the book and making some material. But if you want to have this book for your purposes, it is a great book for business English. There is a lot of material, a lot of resources, but it is optional for the class, not required. You can find this book. It's pretty cheap. You can find it on Kyobo and other places. All right, we'll talk more about the book next week. It's optional, but yeah. Main thing we will be using is Zoom class. We will be doing this every week. So you need to be prepared to use Zoom. I recommend when you have online class that you be in a quiet place where you can listen and speak and there's no distractions. It's not loud. Coffee shops are usually not a good place. It's very noisy in coffee shops. A lot of people talking, especially if there's a lot of ajumma parties around you. It could be very noisy. So be careful about that. And I recommend using headphones or a speaker if your quality of your computer is not good. Please have some good headphones that helps you understand. And make sure your microphone is clear and easy to understand. And also make sure that you have strong Wi-Fi. A good Wi-Fi connection is important. Please check that 5 minutes before you enter the class. Class discussion time, we will be using Zoom. I will be speaking in the Zoom class with many people. And then we will also have small groups discussion time that will also be on Zoom during our Zoom class. So be prepared to speak to your classmates. Grade distribution. So here is how your grade will be distributed, your final grade distribution. Here is the breakdown. So you can see there are a lot of 10% for video homework, 10% for attendance, 10% participation, 10% for your writing assignments, 10% for role play projects, 10% for 20% for your midterm test, 10% for the video project, and 20% for the final exam. So this is your grading distribution. We will talk about more of these individually, each part a little bit later. The final grade policy, this is important to know before the semester begins. Your grading will be on a curved grade, which means that only a percentage of students can receive a particular grade. So for example, grade A is 50% is the maximum amount of students who can receive an A grade. 25% B, and then the rest will be C, D, or F. This is based on your final grade is your class ranking at the end of the semester. This is a university policy, so there's nothing I can change about that. So let's take a look at an example. Sometimes this is good, sometimes this is bad for your final grade. Final grade example, you can see here, this is just an example. These are not real scores. But if you look here, the grade A, you can see this person actually got a B score, but their final grade was A because of the curve. All right, so that's good. But also on the bottom end, it could be bad. If your grade is a B, it could actually end up being a C grade because of the curve. So it depends on your ranking in the class. Important to know. All right, so we're going to go ahead and stop there and take a break, and then I will continue with the next part of the video. Please move on to the second part of the video talking about the individual days, class days, and more information about that. All right. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next video.